Good afternoon. Since the second quarter focuses on circles, we decided to have this introductory video about definition of terms. Kasi mahirap we are trying to understand the concept, pero hindi naman tayo familiar dun sa terms na ginagamit para ituro yung concept. So to address that gap, ang first discussion natin is about terms, just the definition of terms, para nang sa ganon, kapag meron tayong mga definitions in the future, alam natin or ma-identify natin or ma-absorb natin yung concept kasi hindi vague or hindi malabo para sa atin yung mga terms na ginagamit sa mga future definitions natin. So we are going to discuss basic geometry terms and terms related to circles. Let's go to basic geometry terms. So we are going to do three things. So your first is to define the term. Second is to draw the figure. And then third is to identify ways and means on how to name these terms or these figures. So the first one is point. Point is an exact location in space. It is the fundamental object in geometry, meaning every figure or all geometric figures starts from a single point. Also, all geometric figures are composed or made up of points put together to form that specific figure, whatever that figure is. And lastly, a point is represented by a dot. So, idodrawing natin yung point. So, what does a point look like? So, basically, a point looks something like this. And it is usually represented by a capital letter. So, therefore, this is point A. That's how we draw a point. It is represented by a dot, and this is how we name the point. Point A. Let's go to our next definition. The next definition is a line. So a line is a set of infinitely many points in a straight arrangement that extends infinitely in opposite directions. So what does a line look like? So a line looks something like this. Okay, let's take 2 points on the line. So for example, this is one point, this is point A, and this is another point, point B. Therefore, this whole thing that we just drew is line A, B. Okay guys, I want you to look at the accent. So the accent looks something like that, segment and then 2 arrowheads. So that is how we name a line. Notice that we have 2 arrowheads. Right here and right there. Ano yung ibig sabihin ng arrowheads na yan? Ang ibig sabihin ng arrowheads na yan ay extends infinitely. Since the arrowheads point in opposite directions, then the line extends infinitely in opposite directions. Now, etong line na to, meron tayong dalawang subsets. Pag sinabing subsets, makikita natin sila sa isang line, but they are different from a line. So we have 2. The first is a line segment. So a line segment is a subset of a line that has 2 end points. So if we take this line, I'm not sure if this is gonna work. Let's just try. So this is our line. If this works, then good. Kung hindi, magdodrawing na lang ako ng iba. What we want to do is to erase. Ayun, gumana. So, binura natin yung arrowheads, which is indicative that it does not extend infinitely in both directions anymore. Kasi nga, hindi naman na arrowheads yung makikita natin. endpoints na. Dahil endpoints na yung makikita natin, hindi na sila infinitely extending to both directions. Therefore, that is a segment. And how do we name a segment? So the accent is something like this. Okay, let us see the difference. So this is line AB. This is read as, lagay din natin pa paano binabasa ha. This is line AB and this is line segment AB. Okay? Or in some cases, we refer to that as just segment AB. But that is also the subset of a line that we are talking about. The subset of a line that has two endpoints. It's either line segment or segment. The other subset of a line is called a ray. So what is a ray? A ray is a subset of a line that has one endpoint and extends infinitely in only one direction. So if we paste our line again, so this is line AB that we copied a while ago. If we just erase one of its extensions, right there, now that is not a line anymore. That is also not a line segment. Kasi yung line extends infinitely in both directions. Yung segment or line segment, wala siyang extensions. But this time around, it has an extension but only in one direction. This is called array. How do we name array? So array is named something like this. A, B. That is the accent. Sir ABC, bakit ganon? Dito nakaturo pero nandun yung ano. Kasi ganun yung accent niya talaga. Okay, so kahit saan pa nakaturo yung ray natin, for example, drawing ako ng ibang ray, kunyari nakaganyan. For example, this is ray CD. Hindi ka maglalagay ng accent na pag ganun. No. Palagi siyang ganito, yung accent. Standard yan. Ganyan yung standard na accent ng ray. This is read as ray A, B. Next term, angle. So an angle, I'll just erase this, okay? So an angle is a pair of rays that have a common endpoint called vertex. What we want to notice is that it is a pair. Kapag pair, ilan? Dalawa. So meron tayong dalawang ray, pero may common endpoint. Ang tawag daw doon, vertex. So for example, this is my first ray. Drawing tayo ng isang ray. Or ray. Right there. Ito yung endpoint niya. Tapos ito yung extension niya, di ba? Now, sabi daw, dun sa definition, common endpoint. Ibig sabihin, itong endpoint na to, endpoint din ng kabilang ray. So if that is the case, then we will draw another ray that has this as its endpoint also. So nagdrawing, sorry. So, for example, this is the other ray. Right? That figure is called an angle. Ang tawag dito sa common endpoint na yan, vertex. That is the vertex that we are talking about. And the angle is right here. The degree of separation between the two rays. For example, we identify 3 points. For example, this is point A. The vertex is point B. And this is point C. Therefore, this is angle A, B, C. That is the symbol for angle. Angle A, B, C. Also, we can name the angle using its vertex alone. So, pwedeng angle B lang. Or, we can name an angle using a number. For example, merong 1 sa loob. So that is angle 1. Okay, so those are the three methods or three ways for naming angles. So we can name the angle using 3 letters, using the vertex, or using a number. Personal preference ko is yung 3 letters. So if you are my student, I suggest you use this. SirABC, bakit po yung pang 3 letters yung gusto nyong gamitin? Bakit po hindi na lang yung vertex or yung number? So let me expound on this for you. For example, I have 2 angles. There, and then another one, and then another one. Okay? And then we are going to identify points. For example, this is A, this is B, this is C, and this is D. Okay? Now I want you to identify this angle, the red one. If you use the method wherein you just use the vertex, you say angle B. But angle B refers to 2 different angles. It can actually 3. It can be ABC, the red one. It can be CBD, the blue one, or it can be the biggest one, ABD. So we cannot really identify which angle B you are pertaining to. So if that is the case, then it is safer for us to use 3 letters instead of just the vertex. Yung number, minsan kasi wala namang number na nakalagay dun sa figures natin eh. So that's out of the question. Kapag meron, maganda. Kapag wala, then it is safe to use the 3 letters instead of 1, just to avoid confusion. So these are the basic geometry terms that we are going to use in the definitions for our terms related to circles. We have a point, we have a line segment, a ray, and an angle. Let's go to our terms related to circles. So our first term, of course, is the circle. A circle is a closed curve. Okay, it is a curve, but it is closed. If it is not closed, it is not a circle. All points of which are equidistant from a fixed point called the center of the circle. So, alam naman nating lahat kung ano yung itsura ng circle, but still, I am going to draw a circle for you. So, that is our circle. Okay, now, let's have a point sa gitna. For example, nagitna ko na siya. Gitnang-gitna yan, kunyari. That is called the center of the circle. Okay? Actually, sige, sulat ko na. That is the center of the circle. Obviously, yung black, yun yung circle itself, di ba? The circle is being named using its center. So whatever the center of the circle is, that is also the name of the circle. For example, this is A. The center is point A. Therefore, the circle is, this is the symbol. Circle A. Okay? Not point A. Kasi if we write point A, then we are pertaining to the center. Kasi di ba, point is just a fixed location in space. This is a fixed location, yung center, di ba? Sabi, it is a fixed point. So therefore, if we talk about point A, that is the center. If we use this symbol, then we talk about this symbol. Then we are talking about the circle. So this is circle A. Now, meron tayo concept ng in, on, and out of the circle. Ito hindi to formal concept in geometry. But I want to touch on this because we are going to use this sa succeeding definitions natin. So let's draw a circle. Circle. So that is our circle. Now, let us draw its center. So, kunyari, yan, gitna na. Siyempre, tinatansya ko lang siya, di ba? For example, that is A. Gusto lang natin ma-identify. Nasaan yung in the circle? Nasaan yung on the circle? Nasaan yung outside the circle? Obviously, the center is in the circle. Pero syempre, kunyari, mag-identify pa tayo ng isa pa. Ayan. So, yung points A tsaka B, they are in the circle. Ito yung in. Okay? Yung out, obviously, kunyari, ito, C. This is out. Nasaan yung on? So, yung on, yan. Nasa mismong circle. So, that is on. Okay, SirABC, bakit kailangan pa namin malaman yan? Parang ang basic-basic naman yan. Kasi sa mga succeeding definitions natin, meron tayong on the circle, out the circle. So at least alam na natin na basta in sa loob. Needless to say, di ba? Out sa labas. Pag on, nasa mismong circle. Now, let us have terms related to circles, yung lines tsaka subsets of a line. So puro lang tayo linya-linya. So the first is a radius. Radius is a segment whose end points are the center of the circle and a point on the circle. Ayun yung sinasabi ko. A point on the circle. Tsaka the center of the circle. Ano daw tong mga to? End points ng radius. So, radius is a segment. It is not a line. So, therefore, it does not extend infinitely in opposite directions. Limited lang dun sa endpoints na yon. Yung isang endpoint, center. Yung isang endpoint, a point on the circle. So, let's draw our circle. Circle. Right? Here is our circle. And this is our center. Nyari yan. Parang hindi. So, siguro yan. Okay? So, alam na natin, the center is one endpoint. A point on the circle is the other endpoint. So, let's have our segment. This is one endpoint and a point on the circle right there. This is the radius, guys. Itong segment na to. Okay? Radius. Also, obviously, the radius is the distance from the center to any point on the circle. SirABC, can we draw another radius in the same circle? Yes, actually, it has infinitely many number of radii. Radii being the plural form of radius. Ayan, radius din yan. Pwede pa yung mag-drawing dito, tsaka pa ganon. Lahat yan, mga radius yan. So, if this is circle A, this is point B, and this is point C, then we have two radii. Radii. Ito yung spelling, guys. Radii. Yan. Plural form ng radius. So, ano yung dalawang radii natin? So, we have segment AC and segment AB. Yan, yung dalawa. AC tsaka AB. That is the radius. Now, let's go to the second one. Chord. A chord is a segment. So, it's also a segment. It has end points. Ano yung endpoints niya? Are points on the circle. 2 points on the circle. Let us draw a circle. Okay. Hindi siya nagbilog. So let's draw a circle. Circle right there. There is our circle. And then this is our center. If this is circle A, and we want to draw a chord, this is a segment whose endpoints are 2 points on the circle. So a point on the circle and another point on the circle. Tapos, i-connect lang natin silang dalawa. We have a chord. That is a chord right here. So, for example, this is x, y, point x, point y. Therefore, our chord right here is xy with the accent of a segment. Yan. So that is our chord. So ABC, can we draw another chord? Yes, we can. Actually, we can draw infinitely many chords. Basta kuha lang kayo ng dalawang points. For example, this is M. And then this is L. So you just connect those 2 points. For example, na-connect ko na sila. Ito yung M, ito yung L. So we have another chord ML segment. So segment ML. That is a chord. Now, next is a diameter. So a diameter is a chord. Guys, a diameter is a chord. Therefore, all the characteristics of a chord is present in a diameter. Ano ba yung characteristics ng chord? It is a segment and its endpoints are points on the circle. But what is the special characteristic of a diameter? It is a chord that passes through the center of the circle. Ibig sabihin, yung endpoints niya nasa mismong circle, tapos dumaan siya sa center. Also, it divides the circle into 2 equal parts. Actually, I should be using the term congruent, pero magde-define na naman ako kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng congruent. Basta equal, parehas. So, let's draw our circle. And color, circle. So, this is our circle. And there is our center. For example, that's the center. This is a point and this is another point. Mamaya ako na i-drawing. Do-drawingan ko muna ng segment. So, for example, here, and then hindi siya tumatama. Ayun. Just erase natin tong sobra. Right there. So, this is our center, di ba? For example, this is circle A again. This is X, and this is D. For example. Then, the diameter is segment XD. SirABC, bakit hindi po XAD? Dumaan siya sa A. Hindi siya ganun, mga best. Guys, basta ano lang, dun lang sa endpoints. Yung dalawang endpoints lang, yun lang i-consider natin. So, yung X lang, tsaka D. Yun lang dalawa. Hindi natin i-consider lahat ng dinaanan. Kahit maraming points dyan, basta yung dalawang end points lang. So, I want you to observe the diameter, guys. Bukod sa chord siya, kasi yung end points niya, eto, X, tsaka D, are points on the circle, and dumaan siya sa center. Ano pa yung isa sa mga characteristics ng diameter? The diameter is composed of 2 radii. Okay? Actually, it is composed of 2 collinear radii. Pag sinabing collinear, sulat ko nga dito, as another characteristic, composed of 2 collinear radii. Ano yung dalawang radius dito sa figure natin na to, mga best? So we have here segment AD and segment AX. Diba radius yan, parehas? So meron tayong dalawang collinear na radii. Pag sinabing collinear, they are contained in a line. Okay? Sige natin. Marami talaga kasing definitions to eh. Contained in a line. Parang bumubuo siya ng isa pang line. Collinear yon. So kapag meron akong dalawang radius na hindi collinear, siguro ganyan. Ayan. Diba? Kaya ganun. Basta you get the idea. Okay? So ano yung mga characteristics ng diameter? Una, it is a chord, meaning its endpoints are points on the circle. Pangalawa, it is a chord that passes through the center of the circle. Pangatlo, it divides the circle into two equal parts. So if we are going to shade lang natin. Ito yung isang part. Itong ibabaw na to, yung kulay blue, lumampas. So, yeah, right here. And then yung white. Parehas na parehas yun, di ba? And lastly, it is composed of two collinear radii. O basta dalawang radius. Dalawang radius equal yon sa isang diameter. Let's have the next definition. The next definition is a secant. A secant is a line or subset of a line. So it can be a line, it can be a segment, it can be a ray. Pero customarily, it is a line. But it can be a subset of a line that touches the circle at two distinct points. It contains a chord. So, what we want to take into consideration is that a secant touches the circle at two distinct points. Magkaibang point, dalawa. So, if we are going to draw a secant, we have to draw a circle first. So, this is our circle. This is our center. We are going to draw a secant. A secant can be a line or subset of a line. So, for example, I'm going to draw something like this. So, this is circle A again. And then, for example, this is F. And this is G. Therefore, our secant is line FG. That is our secant. Now, it contains a chord. Nasaan yung chord? Ito yung chord. Yung red, siya yung chord na that is contained in a secant. Basta alam natin kapag secant, it is a line or a subset of a line that touches the circle at two distinct points. SirABC, ibig sabihin ba parehas yung chord tsaka secant because a secant can be a segment? No. Kapag chord, yung endpoints niya nasa mismong bilog. Kapag lumampas, for example, lumampas, ganyan. Segment na siya, di ba? Pero, hindi siya chord. Kasi, yung endpoints niya nasa labas. If you want to take the chord, then just take the red one. Okay? Pero babalik ko na yung endpoints kasi nakalagay dito sa atin, line. Line FG. So that is a secant. Now, last term, para sa line and subset of a line is tangent. So tangent, again, is a line or a subset of a line that touches the circle at exactly one point, called point of tangency. So let's draw our circle. The circle is right here. The center is somewhere here. This is circle A. Now, this is our tangent. It can be a line or a subset of a line. I'll draw a line. Ba't ganun? Teka lang. I'll draw a line. I said a line. So, right there. So, for example, this is L, this is D, and this is U. Yan. So, our tangent now is line DU. Sir ABC, can we do line DL or line LU? Actually, you can do that because you can name a line using any two letters on any 2 points on the line. Kaya lang, customarily you want to select the two ends, yung points na nasa dalawang dulo. Yun yung mas piliin natin kaysa yung may na-left out pa tayo dun sa dulo. So, mas maganda kung DU natin siya in-name. So that's line DU. This is our tangent and this is our point of tangency. The point of tangency is point L. That is our point of tangency. So yung basic fundamental difference between a secant and a tangent is that a secant touches the circle at 2 points. A tangent touches the circle at just 1 point. And that 1 point is called the point of tangency. So let us review. So these are the terms related to circles that are lines and subsets of a line. Excuse me. So we have the radius. This is what our radius looks like. We have a chord. This is what it looks like. A diameter. This is what it looks like. A secant right here. And a tangent right there. Let's go to our next terms related to circles. We have arcs. What is an arc? So an arc is a portion of a circle. Portion, kapirasong bilog. Actually, hindi kapiraso, pwedeng malaki. Pero basta parte siya ng bilog. So, we will draw a circle. Actually, we'll draw 3 circles. So, hindi siya nagbilog. Okay. So, copy ko na lang to siguro. Paste, paste. So, this is gonna be our 3 circles. Kasi may pwedeng tatlong possibility tayo sa arc eh. Which we will discuss later. Pero drawing muna natin sila dito. Syempre, kailangan may center. So, for example, andyan yung mga center natin. An arc can be something like this. Right there. The red one can be something like this. Or can be something like this. Example. Kunyari, yan. Yung red, yung green, tsaka yung blue, lahat yan sila arcs. Pero anong klaseng arcs yung mga yan? So first is a semicircle. So obviously, this is our semicircle. Half a circle. Paste. So for example, this is circle A. We take this as point B. This is point C. And this is point L. So therefore, our semicircle right here is BLC. This is the accent. May accent ulit. Parang dun sa lines and subsets of a line. So that is the accent for circle. Sir ABC, bakit po naging 3 letters na? Akala ko po ba Customarily, yung dalawang end lang. Not in the case of a semicircle. Actually, semicircle tsaka yung isa pa mamaya. Tatlong letters ang gagamitin natin kapag kalahati ng bilog yung arc. So that is a semicircle. Pag mas maliit sa semicircle, ang tawag doon minor arc. So, eto yun. Paste. So this is our minor arc. So, for example, this is circle A, this is J, and this is M. Then this is arc JM. Sir ABC, bakit po naging dalawa na lang? Ganun talaga. Ganun talaga. Kapag minor arc, 2 letters. Kapag semicircle, 3. All the more kapag major arc. This is the major arc. Yan. So for example, again, this is circle A. This is ano ba mga letters pa? H, E, and then R. So this is now major arc. H, E, R. Accent. So if we are talking about arcs, then we just name the arcs using 2 letters if it is minor. Otherwise, use 3 letters. Kapag semicircle na, tsaka major arc na, ang gagamitin natin, 3 letters na. 2 letters lang kapag minor arc. Lastly, terms related to circles, angles naman. So meron tayong dalawa. First is central angle. A central angle is an angle whose vertex is the center of the circle and whose sides are 2 radii. So it is radius in plural form. So let's draw our circle. Circle. Okay. And let's have our center. For example, this is circle A again. Pero hindi palaging circle A, guys, ha. Gusto ko lang circle A. Pwedeng iba. Actually, sa mga books, ang madalas ginagamit, circle O. Anyway, share ko lang. Sabi daw dito, the center of the circle is the vertex of the central angle. And the sides are 2 radii. So, magdodrawing tayo ng dalawang radius. From here to there. Sige, buburahin ko na lang mamaya. And then, another one from here to there. Baba natin konti. Oh. Sama. Ulit. From here to there. Okay, yun na lang yung gawin nating center. Burahin. Bura. Bura. Yan. Kunyari, ayun na yung center. Hindi ko maayos eh. So, angat ko to. Yan. So, for example, this is point B. This is point C. This is the angle. Okay? So, meron tayong dalawang radius. Segment AB tsaka segment AC. Tapos yung vertex ng angle natin is the center of the circle. Then, this is called a central angle. And we all know that we prefer to use 3 letters. So, the central angle is angle BAC. Excuse me. So, that is our central angle. Last term is inscribed angle. So, what is an inscribed angle? It is an angle whose vertex is a point on the circle. Ayun. Okay, the vertex is not the center of the circle. Rather, it is a point on the circle. And then the sides are not radii, but rather chords. So what does it look like? So We use black color. We draw our circle. And then we draw our center. For example, again, this is circle A. The vertex is a point on the circle. Let us select a point on the circle. For example, this. Then we draw two chords. So we will draw two segments. So this is our first segment. For example, teka ha, draw muna ako ng dalawang segment bago ako mag-drawing ng point kasi hindi nakikisama eh. So, for example, yan. And then let's draw another chord using the same point as our first endpoint. So, yan. Better. So, we have here an inscribed angle. So, for example, this is X, this is Y, and this is Z. Then our inscribed angle is angle YXZ. Right there. So what I want you to understand mga best, when naming angles is that the vertex should be in the middle. Diba? No, Y, X, Z. Same is true right here. B, A, C. It can be C, A, B. It can be C, A, B. Ito naman, it can be Z, X, Y. Okay lang yon. For as long as the vertex is at the center, nasa gitna, in the middle. So that ends our discussion sa terms related to circles and basic geometry terms. I hope you learned something new today, and I'll see you sa sa YouTube channel natin. So goodbye guys, ingat.